Hey folks, it's time for Frugal Prepper. I want to talk about another law of plant growth, and that law is air. You have to have air circulating around your plants. They draw carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and something else through the air. But they have to have good airflow, and it's going to help you grow big, strong plants. So I have come through here and I have pruned these beans back quite a bit to keep the airflow going. That helps keep them healthy, it helps keep the air moving around them, and it helps prevent diseases and bacterial infections and fungal infections from getting on your plants if they have good airflow. That's why down the middle we don't plant anything. This is a spot for air to get in behind the plants. We grow up the T-frames, up the strings, and we V the strings out. Really, I should put my middle wires a little farther over, I think, but this is according to the book. And so we want to keep the air flowing around and through the plants as much as possible. And it's really important in Mittleider, where we plant things so close together, to stay on top of your pruning and keep the air flowing. And so you can see my squash plants back here. One, I don't get enough light. These were an afterthought that I planted. I should have planted the beans back here, squash, and the cucumbers up there. But I just pulled a leaf off of here somewhere. It's over here somewhere. That had some white powdery mildew starting on it. So I pruned them back pretty heavy. And you have to prune squash to let the bees get into them anyway to pollinate them. But, you know, once white powdery mildew starts, it's pretty much a losing game. I'll spray some fungicide on it, and I'll keep it pruned to keep the airflow up. But that's just because it's kind of back in here and it's shaded by all these beans. It's not getting enough light. It's not getting enough air. And the next thing you know, you got problems. Corn's planted pretty close together. But again, I go through and I prune a few leaves off of these every once in a while to allow some airflow to get in past it. Tomatoes are hard to keep pruned. I mean, you can see these tomatoes really need a good pruning, but they're just growing so big and so strong and so fast. And I'm already harvesting, so I'm gonna have more tomatoes than I can use this year, so I'm probably not gonna prune them. But I pulled these tomatoes out down here because I just didn't need them anymore, and they weren't doing so well, and I planted my spaghetti squash. But airflow is important in a garden. You have to let the air get to the plants, circulate, and you want to keep your plants elevated up off the ground and keep them in the air, and don't let them get down on the ground and get dirty and get diseases. All right, that's all I got for now, folks. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.